What is up, everyone? Rowing cyclist coming from the KOA in Davie, Florida. I just did an hour run in the new racing shoes just to put some, I put 9 miles on them. And then to make sure that the tension on the elastic laces was correct. And I don't like to pat myself on the back, but I did it on the first time. I don't know if that's experience or luck. Probably luck. It's incredibly humid here, more than I'm used to, from where I came from in Wekiva. I know cold front's going to come through, I think Friday, and so it's going to be definitely cooler on Sunday. The folks racing on Saturday are going to be dealing with some interesting winds during the sprint races, and of course the professionals on Friday. Looks like they're going to have, it's just going to be a little warm, but they're going to have really good weather. Sunday I think is going to be the best weather for the middle distance or long duathlon and triathlon, and so it looks like around race start will be 56, and then it'll creep up to around 75 or so. So run is done. I'm not sure where to ride my bike here yet. I'm not opposed to riding on the road. That's typically what the first run does in a new area is. Can we talk about how my hair looks right now? Can we talk about that? Is kind of how I scout the area out to go out on the bike. It is very windy here today. Also, there's a place called Vista View Park across from me, and someone built a mountain. And I did 5 hill repeats up that, and I haven't seen my heart rate up in the 170s in a while now, but it definitely got my heart rate up. Views all the way around 360 degrees at the top there. It looked like there was RC planes and hang gliding and all kinds of stuff going on up there. Everybody was, weaving their way around the hillside and all that. Really awesome recreational area. I'm really impressed with that. The run, like all runs after I travel, it's kind of a mixed bag until my legs stretch themselves out. Going out, I don't know if I was having GPS interference. There's an airport over there, but my pacing was very erratic, but then it kind of settled down, and I think I averaged out about 6:45 for the run, and then there were a couple strides in there, about 5 minutes, and then 4:45, and then there was some longer stride outs around 5.5 minutes. So just kind of keeping the legs turning over. We are in race week, so making poor decisions in the race week prior to a race leads to poor race day. So everything for the most part is on autopilot. I know what I need to do to get ready. I'm dealing with a couple nagging things. One in particular is my right calf. I gotta keep rolling it out. I gotta keep using the Speedhound recovery sleeves, and then I use the Hammer CBD balm to kind of get the whatever's, it's deep down in there. So I got to get deep down in there with my rolling stick and roller, and so it hit me a little harder today. It caused me to stop a little bit to assess on what had occurred, and that always happens after. So you got to take into consideration, like yesterday I traveled, and it was 4 hours because of traffic, with one stop to get diesel and I did my, I always try to do a run before I go, and then I try to do the bike when I get here. But when I got here, I had to go to Walmart to try to see about a surge protector. But I am going to have to go to the RV store here now. I noted that for whatever reason, my sewer hose has a hole in it, so I shut my valves and cleaned everything up. I mean, there's not like, I don't have stuff all over, so you can hold the comments on that. But I noted it because I'm testing the tanks, because I'm having an issue with, I think, the black water sensor. It's reading higher than it actually is, so I shut the valves to see if there's something. We gotta get things moving. I mean, this is the RV life, right? And so, like, all you RVers, long timers, full timers, weekenders, you get these issues. You got to solve them on the road, on the fly. Like, I know behind my seat, the slide, I don't know if it's what holds the slide, but I turned around the other day and I noticed the bolts had loosened up down, and I'm like, well, that wouldn't be good if the slide fell out. So I tightened those down. And then I just went around and I tightened all those screws and stuff. You just got to do that stuff periodically, especially now that I'm moving, a lot more up and down the road for races. So where I'm at is the KOA in Davie, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It is an interesting campground. So it's definitely jammed packed. The hookups are not well thought. The sewer is going uphill, which is not exactly conducive to things flowing down, how water normally flows. The power pillar has 30 amp and 50 amp. There are no breakers to that. They are just direct plug-ins to the power pillar. And to make it even more interesting, and I'm not a construction specialist. I'm an athlete, but they have the water connection attached to the power pillar that has no breakers. So it's kind of sketch, right? And so, you walk around, it's very tight. It's a one-way circle. They're packed up in here pretty good. In fact, my neighbors could probably come through my window from their RV. There's a lot of, I don't know if it's construction. It seems like they're building more sites instead of improving their current infrastructure, which is obviously aged and is in dire need. I needed propane, but I don't see any way of how that could have occurred in the entrance. Maybe they have an approach. I'll just wait until I get to Clearbrook and Claremont when I leave here. All in all, this would be, it's a KOA journey, and I'm not sure. I don't know how. I've stayed a lot of KOAs. I guess I'm considered a pretty high VIP, I guess, according to points and stays. We try to stay in the KOA, but since a couple of experiences, and I've noticed some of the KOAs we've stayed at have moved out of the KOA network and become Spacious Skies, which when I go to Luray next month to train, that's where I'm going to stay, at where we would normally stay. That used to be okay, now it's a Spacious Skies. So we're going to see what that's about. That's a very nice campground in Luray. Harrisonburg is great. Really nice people. They'll jump in on my Instagram from time to time on my training. We pretty much stayed up and down Harper's Ferry. I got a lot of stays coming up in the Outer Banks, New York City. So I try to stay in the network, but that doesn't make me an expert on campgrounds. But visually, my first impression, just like the business learned where I was at, is really a lasting impression. And so you don't normally get a second chance to make a first impression. And so that's what people remember. So me coming in here, the people are really nice. I don't know what her name is at the front desk. Based on the reviews, which are many, I think it is Roberta, and she was really nice. She called and made sure that I was gonna be here before she left, and I said that I was. We got everything ready. I had to adjust because I was working with Brittany at Clash Endurance, and I'm gonna move from here Thursday to the Speedway and park on the infield. And I just want a stress-free kind of weekend for that, because I do deal with, and this is going to come as a surprise to a lot of folks, I think, except the people who know, like Richard, my good friend at the Trek shop, actual friend, because if he wasn't my friend, he would have ignored any text message or phone call that I would ever do, because I am crazy. I have very bad anxiety and panic disorder. So being on the road alone, and I actually mentioned this to Carla yesterday, that I'm doing all this by myself and I'm not like, in a loony bin somewhere, is actually shows how far I think I've grown in that. Because this is a recent development based on a traumatic experience. And so, for the most part, I do still have my intricacies, but, for the most part, I think I've gotten it pretty well. There are moments where I do kind of, freak out, but, for me being an athlete, was a professional, I downgraded my license so I could race this year, FYI. And that's probably why, you're not seeing me at like Powerman and all that. And also Powerman in the States has no prize purse. So I didn't see logistically the benefit of me going to Powerman, Arizona and Michigan, although I really wanted to. I know Mike from Speedhound is out in Tucson. I wanted to go to that training camp and hook up with them, and all that stuff. I wanted to climb Mount Lemmon. I had all these plans, and then, when they posted that there was going to be no prize purse, and I know they got some elites to go out there, and they did really well for the small group that they had. But if and I know there's more, and if you're an elite duathlete in the United States, and you see this video, drop a comment down below with a thumbs up and kind of, because we need to make, some noise. And I'm going to still do some duathlon, but when I go to Clarebrook, and Claremont, since I, drove Mark there crazy with swim coach, and I never reached out because I just didn't have the time, being so into this training cycle for Clash Miami, Endurance Miami. I'm gonna reach out, and I'm gonna start putting together swimming, because I have a period between a little period between races, and I want to get someone shows me the technique. I can take it from there, but and I know it's constant practice and it's going to be frustrating, but it's a goal that I have, and my plan is to move into triathlon in the middle distance, so 70.3, and work to my professional license there and have more opportunities than I have in duathlon, which is really sad. Duathlon is a challenge. Triathlon's a challenge. Aquabike, all those things have their challenges. Duathlon is challenging because you have to logistically worry about, and these run distances on run one can vary. And in Miami, it's going to be 5K, then the 56-mile bike, and then the half marathon, right? And so in New York City last year, I think it was 2 miles out and back. Maybe it was 3. I can't remember. So it could be anywhere in there, but it all equals 70.3. We just don't have the swim. And so you have to worry about running 3 miles at race pace, coming into transition, swimmers are soaking wet coming on the run. We're coming soaking wet from the run, getting the shoes off, taking a gel, getting the bike out without tearing down the whole transition rack like I almost did last year in Claremont, because that's a big bike. And so you kind of got to take it out and sideways and put it under. So you got to think about all that stuff. And you take a gel before the run. You take a gel and a drink, and I keep extra gels in my transition area on the mat. And I'll take what I think I need. It depends on temperature. It depends on what pace I went out at, how hard did I go on that first run. But then I know on the bike, that's my opportunity to kind of get the hydration in, the nutrition in. This time, I think it's going to be a little more complicated. I'm going to go out to the track. There's a bunch of triathlon bike shops and a trek here. I'm going to go out and try to solve this between the arms issue. I have to solve it myself, because it's just not, I don't think it's going to be solved by the correct people. Not my bike shop, elsewhere. And so I've seen a couple different variations. I know I saw Martin's bike from last weekend. He had a bottle cage, like cross tower, mounted on the 2 bolts behind under the arm pads. I don't know where that is. And I've asked a couple people and they don't. So I'm gonna go out into the triathlon shops and I'm gonna try to find something to mount a bottle cage between the arms, so I can get rid of those 2 cages in the down tube. And put the aero bottle in there to make the bike more aerodynamically efficient. Now, if I don't find that, or if I don't find something that satisfies me aerodynamically, I'm not going to have a bunch of zip ties going across the $15,000 bike. So I have to sort that out, and if I can't find something that I think will work and I can test a couple times that I know will stay on the bike, I'm gonna have to run the bottle cages in the frame. I may run the smaller. I have a smaller aero bottle I can run in the frame, and so that's the kind of plan. And then I have the saddle cage, which I normally have. So what I'm thinking, because the humidity is probably going to be out and then it's going to be cooler, I'll probably do my normal, like I did in New York. I'll have the hammer heat in the rear bottle. I will have in the frame bottle, I'll have some kind of heat, caffeine mixture. And then if I can get a BTA to work, that will be the Perpetuum, which will be the the higher calorie kind of fuel that I'll take periodic sips on. And then every 15 minutes I'm in the gel, which the integrated bento box makes it easy. I'm going to see how many I can get in there. But I do have hammer flasks this time, which hold, and the big bottles of the apple cinnamon gel, which is my favorite. And so those hold 5 gels each. And then you put a couple else in there, and then I'll have some salt, some salt tablets or whatever in there in case I need them. And, that'll be kind of, I haven't sat down and really figured that one out yet, but, I got an idea of what I'm going to do. And then, on the course, I guess they have base products. And so I'm going to go out and try to find the hydro and then whatever other gel they have, just so I can taste that, to see if I can even tolerate that. Because If it comes down to it, you have to, I'm sponsored by Hammer as an elite athlete. But when you're on the course, it's not always Hammer. So you got to know what that is. And a lot of people say, don't do anything new on there. I'm become pretty good at my stomach, not going crazy. Not to say that it won't. But it looks like they'll have like Coke products at the aid stations too, which is a big saving grace for me, because I'll hit a Coke every now and again on the run. It helps, trust me, especially after 56 miles of gels every 15 minutes, 90 to 100 grams of carbs per hour, and if everything goes well, we'll see what the bike does. I need to figure out the wheel setup. It looks like the wind's going to be out of the northeast at 10 to 20 miles an hour. So that means going out, we'll have a tail, and then coming back in, we'll have, and the bike, a headwind, and then this bike cuts through the wind. So if I'm going into the wind or out in the wind, it's like a knife. And it takes the wind to the side pretty good. I do get blown across like everybody else. And having the deeper set wheels in there will be, so I'm gonna take that out down this road out here. I'm gonna make a couple zoomies, and then when I get down there, I'll make a couple of zooms out on the course to see what that's gonna be. I do have the MB 7.8s with me and the MB disc, and then on the bike right now I have the RSL 51s. So I have a couple different combinations I can choose from. 51 up front, 80 in the back, disc in the back, 70 in the front, disc in the back, 51 in the front. All race shop stuff. So they're all really fast. Those wheels on there right now, 30 miles an hour easy. So, but the disc is supreme. And so that's kind of what I am doing here. I'll probably do another vlog later. If you are in this area, I do not know where to ride, and I need to ride 2 hours. I know there are bike trails looking at trail forks, but it's hard to decipher if there's a bike lane or if it crosses traffic or whatever. So drop a comment down below and let me know. I know Raw Endurance is down here somewhere training. I think in Biscayne Bay or Key Biscayne or something. So I might see them about. If you're there and you can tell me where to ride while I'm here today, or I don't know if today, but definitely tomorrow. I might be on the trainer today because I got errands to run. The Wi-Fi's not good here, so I'm gonna go and get a new iPad with cellular because I have good 5G. You see, and I can do that with Zwift. So, I do prefer to ride outside. And I may take the road bike over there and climb that there mountain a couple times as well. Just because I think they need to be showed how to do that. Because I haven't checked, but it was probably, I would say the grade got up to about 8%. I think I'm gonna estimate that, and then I'll check Training Peaks later, and I'll post about it. So that's kind of my day here in Fort Lauderdale. I'm gonna go run some errands now. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna do about a 2-hour bike, some part of it easy, and then I'm gonna have some race surges in there because it is Tuesday. And then we will see what else we can get into here in Fort Lauderdale. So it's race week. Clash Endurance on Sunday. I will leave here on Thursday to head on down to the track to camp in the infield. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them down below. I will respond to them, and make sure you give this video a like, give it a follow, so I can reach more people. I am very frank. I'm very honest. It probably petrifies my sponsors a little bit, but that's who I am. I want you to have the best information possible before you go out and you make these expensive decisions. The Speed Concept is fast. I will give it that. The Speed Concept is comfortable. I put the 51 Speed Shot pads in there, not sponsored. And that locked me in a lot better. The bars are causing, I think because I can't get my hands up high enough, I am getting some soreness, but whatever. Just get the bike done faster. That is the name of the game. The BTA is my number one issue right now, so I'm gonna go sort that out after I eat lunch. And then that's it. I will see y'all later. Roaming cyclist.